With fall temperatures here in many parts of the country, Americans are bracing for higher home heating bills. Families are expected to pay an average of 17% more for home heat this coming season compared to last winter. Those who heat with natural gas are facing the highest increase of more than 34%. Heating oil is expected to increase nearly 13% for an average cost of more than $2,100 this winter. Electric heat is expected to see a 7% increase, and first-time applications for low-income home energy assistance are up 60%. America's iconic automobile brand Ford is unable to make deliveries of some of its best-selling vehicles. The shortage of computer chips is one reason, but another supply chain problem is a little unexpected. The automaker does not have enough of the blue oval Ford brand badges that go on the front of the vehicle. Ford has delayed deliveries of a number of vehicles because they are awaiting for the supply. Ford officials won't say how many of the 40,000 vehicles stuck in inventory are awaiting parts due to the nameplate shortage. Still to come, dozens gathered in Grand Forks for suicide awareness and prevention.